Oh, what's up, otakus? How you guys doing? Let me just get the camera angles here, right? There we go. Hope everybody's having a good evening tonight. And we've got a pretty nice first haul for 2025. I couldn't stay away from the comic book shops. I had to get out there and hunt because I wanted to put this video together. I wanted it to be rather timely. Doing a first haul video is always, uh, you don't want to be like 3 weeks into January and doing it. Um, I see a lot of people already putting out their first haul videos. Uh, so thought I'd join in the fun. Um, we had some about $11 left over from our last haul. And I've been really kind of thinking about how to spend that. There is a Christopher Reeve book sitting over at Mill Geek I still want to pick up, but we'll probably have to wait on that a little bit. But I wanted to check out Hill of Comics. I hadn't been there in a while, and they have 33-cent bins, a lot of 90s goodness, stuff that I'm kind of looking for in terms of filling in holes in my Jim Lee collection. And it did not disappoint. We picked up some Jim Lee books, and so new editions of Jim Lee. So the Jim Lee count, we'll update that when we get to the books. Just a lot of, goodness, OTG goodness, I'd like to say, because this is kind of like what you can expect from my hauls. Try to pick up a lot of value, try to pick up, again, we're digging in 33-cent bins, and try to maximize the value from those bins. But at the same time, we didn't want to pick up a lot of things that would just get neglected down the road. So we tried to consider more for collection, more for condition, grade, and tried to pick up things for runs I'm trying to complete. And obviously just key books. We can pick up key books for 33 cents. That's always a nice thing. So we're going to get to the haul. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to Fanboy Prime and Super Russ 9000. We are kind of, I think Super Russ basically stated he was going to post a different Superman book for every day of the month in January. And then Fanboy Prime also announced he was going to be taking part in that. And I decided to join in as well. I don't know how many more people are doing a Superman cover a day in January, but I thought it would be fun. And I've been, again, we're 3 days in. I'm posting it to my, YouTube stories and Instagram reels. So if you follow me on Instagram or YouTube, you'll see what I'm posting each day. And for the most part, I'm kind of focusing on a specific run. And again, I'm not going to, you guys can just go and check it out. It's on my reels, but you'll pretty much see what I'm focusing on in terms of the books I'm planning to post throughout the month. Now that'll only get me to a certain, it'll take me through most of January, but toward the end of January, we're going to have to find some other books to show off. So just continue to follow and see where it diverges in terms of what we show off. Yeah, with that, we'll get to the haul. Here we go. There's a little bit of, like I mentioned, there's a little bit of this and that in this haul. There's no one like consistent theme, or we've got some Jim Lee books. We've got an Alex Ross crypto cover, probably the other Alex Ross crypto cover if there's such a thing. So yeah, we'll get to what we pick up and kind of mention things as we go along. All right, so this one is our first book, and it's in rough condition. It's a mid-grade book, but and it's also like an interesting cover. First off, it's a Mark Silvestri cover of Wolverine 44. It's a newsstand copy, and like up to this point here, the body looks really good. It's kind of what we come to expect from Mark Silvestri. And I don't know who's inking him on this, but then we get down here to this foot, and it's doing some weird, janky, like Rob Liefeld foot there. It is way disproportionate. Doesn't even look like a comic book foot. And that kind of ruins the cover for me. I picked it up, and then I was looking at it earlier, and it just looks so off. Not what we come to expect from Mark Silvestri art, but it is what it is. And again, pick this nice copy up. Well, it's again mid-grade copy. It's like a fine copy. There's some kind of humidity damage or staining here, moisture exposure damage on the bottom. But all in all, just something for our Wolverine collection for 33 cents. All of these books are from the 33-cent bin. So every single book I'm going to show you today, we got 3 for $1. And again, spend $4, 12 books, $4. So there's our first one, Wolverine 44 in a newsstand for 33 cents. All right, moving right along. This next one is a key book. Key book for some weird reason, and for the most part, it's like I would say it's a VF copy. Just got a couple spine ticks, a little bit of, like, I would say, moisture exposure. Not it's not like stiff or anything. It's just sort of this light kind of rippling in the book. But all in all, I would say it's still a high grade copy, still a VF copy. And what we picked up was Heroes for Hire number 13. And this is, it's a key book because of the cover. It's a cover by Sana Takeda. And she has our heroes here in a bondage cover with tentacle, kind of like tentacle porn. There's such a thing as tentacle porn in Japan. And she, again, it's a tentacle porn bondage cover by Sana Takeda. Yeah, this is like a $15 book. And it is a provocative cover there. This is, I think, a book Jeff might like. So, Marvel 13, sorry, Heroes for Hire 13, the Sana Takeda tentacle porn bondage cover. There you go. All right. Now this one, I already have this book, but this was in a little bit better shape. And there was some like kind of like schmutz on the cover. We wiped most of the schmutz off. There's just little remnants of it. It's kind of caked on. I didn't want to like press to wipe it off, but I'm sure if I put a little bit of elbow grease, that little schmutz might come off. There's only two spots of concern, but all in all, it presents better than my previous copy because this is a dark cover. And the other one had just sort of really noticeable spine ticks. This less so. So we picked. This is a second copy of Identity Crisis #4. Again, my favorite Michael Turner Wonder Woman cover here. Just a beautiful piece. So I've got two copies now of this. And generally, when I have like doubles, I kind of put the better condition one on the front and then the back cover here. So it looks like you kind of are seeing both uh, in one, in a bag and board and all that. That's how I normally kind of manage. So I ensure I don't pick up more than two, at least two. Like usually, if there's like a newsstand copy, I'll put the newsstand copy on in the front, and then like the direct edition on the back with the back cover showing, just to kind of give you like this is what the front and back of the book would look like. But in this instance, we have two direct copies, and this is just the nicer copy. And yeah, beautiful Michael Turner cover there. I have to remind myself to kind of show the books because I know I kind of like sometimes I'll show them, and I'm sure a lot of people like fast forward just to want to see the books, and I want to be respectful of that. So I'm just going to show this previous book, and this book is for sale or trade. So if you want to send me an offer for it. I will also mention I've got a list of about 94 books that I'm looking to sell or trade. And I put them on a spreadsheet, put the grade and kind of the value that I'd like in terms of trade. Or I'm not selling it at that price. I would definitely come down if I was going to sell it. But in terms of trade value, I have it set up as what I would kind of expect in terms of a book in return, right? In terms of value to value, books in return. Again, 94 books. I will sell the whole 90 lot of 94, and they're all mostly key books. So I would say about 90% of the books are some kind of key. It's 90% of the books are key books, and again, 94 keys roughly. The whole lot's available for $1,000 if you want to just buy the whole lot. If you just want to trade things, go ahead and just take a look at the list. The link is in the description, so copy and paste the link into your browser and check out or you can click on it, I think. Click on it. It'll take you to the Google Sheets spreadsheet, and you can see what books are available and again, the trade value and all that there. So please check it out. This hasn't been added to it, but I'll go ahead and add this one as well. And we can go from there, I guess. All right. So let's see. We've shown off what 1, 2, 3 books so far. Pretty good. These next two are just my collecting era, and I would love to collect more from this run, but it would just be another you know it would just be too many books if I were to try to collect this whole entire run. It'd take too much of my collection space to do. So I just wanted to be really targeted, maybe pick up some of the keys from this run. And that's what we did. We'll start with Marvel Age 36. I love this Daredevil cover by David Mazzucchelli. And it's just this great Christmas issue of Marvel Age from 1985. It's a beautiful Mazzucchelli Daredevil cover, and just good nostalgic, because this is right around the time I was getting into comic books, and this is the kind of stuff you could just like pick up, um, just kind of get your previews on upcoming Marvel issues and just good stuff. These were oftentimes like, I know that it says 35 cents and stuff, but these were oftentimes just like kind of like giveaways and stuff at comic book shops, oftentimes just to, you know, to get people to buy books and stuff. But yeah, lots of interesting stories and interviews in the Marvel ages. And of course, introducing some of the, you know, preview artwork, panels on upcoming books, reading letters, and all kinds of good stuff in Marvel Age. I'm sure a lot of people from my era are collecting Marvel Age. I'm sure people even today just wanting to maybe read up on the hobby and get a sense of the hobby's history as it was really kind of ramping up. Books like this helped promote the hobby, and uh, these are just kind of like these were kind of like like wizards in terms of what collectors had to like tune themselves into industry news and all that. Very only Marvel focused, unfortunately. It wasn't like a whole industry thing, but yeah, I mean, really good stuff if you were reading Marvel titles at the time. So yeah, just nice cover by here. Again, 33 cents. This one is in high grade. I would put this at least an 8.5. Um, Probably as high as a 9. So really got lucky on this one. Same goes for the next Marvel Age I'm going to show off. And Jeff, this is a shout out to my partner in crime on Saturdays, Jeff. He is a big Frank Frazetta collector. He's a big Vampirella collector. But this particular cover is Marvel Age 31. And it's this beautiful cover by Dave Cockrum. And you've got Nightcrawler there. You've got, I think that's Kitty Pryde in like what looks to be like a Red Sonja like outfit. And you got Lockheed in the background there, and a bunch of like Nightcrawler clones with like a Wolverine there. But this is a cover homage to Frank Frazetta's cover art for Conan the Adventurer, the novel cover. So there's a series of Conan novels that were published, and Frazetta did many of the covers for that novel series, paperback editions. And again, Conan the Adventurer had this great Frazetta cover art, and I think that's what Cockrum is homaging here. That cover, the Frazetta Conan the Adventurer cover there. So shout out to Jeff. He might already have this piece. If he doesn't, I'm sure I might have put it on his radar. But this is a key book because it's just, I forget. I think it previews Throg. That's why it's a key book. It's a preview of the Thor Throg. Yeah, this is also a very high grade copy. I'd say Dino 8590 copy. Very lucky to find it in the 33-cent bin. Oftentimes you don't get this great a book, especially this age and grade a book in the bins. I don't know why it was sitting in the 33-cent bin, but they put it in there. And that's another thing. I went to Hilla Comics today, and they refreshed the 33-cent bins. It's like before it was kind of like people at dug through it. It was like a lot of garbage and just kind of wasted books in there. But they kind of refilled all the boxes, and then they put the refilled boxes out. So I was at Hill of Comics kind of digging for longer than expected. I was expecting to be in and out in an hour, maybe not even picking up much, kind of tried to want it. I wanted to keep it to like, a couple dollars at most, but we ended up, spending $4. So uh, pretty sizable haul. We left a lot of stuff there, of course. We dug a lot of stuff out. There were a lot of books I could have, if I had maybe a larger budget, um, and given myself latitude to pick up maybe like 30 books or something, I could have picked up 30 books, but no, we kept it rather limited and just only picked up the ones we really wanted to pick up. So again, this Marvel Age, really nice pickup there for 33 cents. Classic Dave Cockrum cover there. This is a cover that he just did for Marvel Age, so you're not going to see this cover art anywhere else. Especially if you're a Nightcrawler fan, like I know some. I think Lunch Money Comics, right? Lunch Money Comics is a big Nightcrawler fan, I believe. He's a fan of a lot of things, so it's difficult to gauge what he really, really likes. But I think I heard him mention Nightcrawler was one of his favorites. So shout out to Lunch Money Comics, who also does really great, haul videos. He picks up a lot of value. Finds a lot of good stuff actually on his hunts. I know he kind of tends to spend more on some of the keys and whatnot, but again, he picks up a lot of value. This one was a very nice, pleasant surprise, and it probably the bag it's in is kind of like I need to kind of get a better bag for it. It's in a bag right now, but I put the bag in a bag and board, so it's kind of like double protected. But this is a book that was on our want list. I have a long want list of stuff that I want to pick up, but this was on there. It's been on there for a while because of the cover art, and again, the significance of the book. It's a pretty significant book, I think, and will probably become more significant as I think this IP gets introduced in the gun universe, and that is Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, #1, first issue. This is a kind of a mini series, but it's the first standalone Green Lantern Corps book, and it's an origin story as well as the first appearance of that character right there. And we have a really nice copy. Again, it's there's some issues on the bag, but the book itself is, I want to put it at like a 7.5, 8.0, maybe 7.5 copy here. But the cover art, it's by our main man, Brian Bolin, in nice newsstand edition to boot. So really, really, really happy with this pickup. We got some Brian Bolin Green Lantern art, which is like you never see, right? It's so rare. Got a key first issue. Again, Green Lantern Volume 2 from the Silver Age goes up to like issue 200, and then it changes to Green Lantern Corps from 201 on. And the Green Lantern Corps, that series, again, is kind of the second title we see for Green Lantern Corps, but this is the book that preceded that one, that series. So, yeah, imagine as we get more and more and deeper into the core and who the members are and all that, this key first issue will become a hunted issue, I'm sure. And again, 33 cents for pretty much a high grade newsstand copy. I was really pleased with this pickup. So there you go. Brian Bolin, early 80s Bolin DC Green Lantern cover. Man, can't go wrong with that for 33 cents. All right, this was sitting in there raw. I just put it in one of my bags and boards. Um, but, I've been showing off my crypto cover, that we picked up. This I think is where a lot of collectors are wanting to pick up this particular cover. There's gonna be a lot of like key crypto books, I think, that come to the fore and that people are focused on. I think crypto ultimately is a fun thing to collect, and I'm definitely one of those people. And today we found another Ross crypto cover, this time in the Action Comics realm. We've got Action Comics 871, and you can see cryptos right in there. I gotta say, this is not as nice as the crypto only cover. He's kind of lost in this like, um, you know, parade of superheroes here. Assuming these are all like Legionnaires. Um, but yeah, we got crypto right in the middle of this chaos. This is actually a connecting cover with for the new Krypton. I think it was maybe 3 titles that had Superman this and maybe the Man of Steel or something. But yeah, it's like a connecting cover and by Alex Ross. And of course, we want to pick up the centerpiece of this cover, which is Superman himself. But yeah, can't go wrong with this book. Action Comics 871, the other Alex Ross crypto cover. So keep an eye out for it if you're into this kind of thing. I know, I'm sure many of you who collect Action Comics might have this already. Great book, 33 cents. Again, everything here is 33 cents. That's how we roll. This one has been on my list for a while, and again, I just lucked out by finding it today. Really high grade copy too. No real issues with this book. And it's Superman Volume 2, Superman 201. Great Ed McGuinness after Joe Shuster cover of. So he's homaging Action 1. And it's a key book because of the cover. It's Ed McGuinness, Mr. Majestic, Superman, Action 1 cover. And you got like Jimmy Olsen. I forget the gangster's name who's running like that. I forget he's the guy who was like kind of bullying Clark and harassing Lois in Action 1. But yeah, this is just a great Action 1 homage. And, potential spec book, like once if Mr. Majestic ever makes his way to the MCU, you can expect this to be on a lot of people's want lists. Superman 201, again, key book, 33 cents. Bullet DC bullet cover. What more do you want? That's OTG approved right there. Staying with some Superman keys, we've got Action Comics 775. This is a nice Tim Bradstreet cover here. And this is key because it's the first appearance of a team called The Elite. So just a key book, high grade. Put this at a 8.5 copy. maybe higher, 9.0. Needs a press, but yeah, key book here, 33 cents, Action Comics book. Couldn't leave that there, so got that. All right, this is another one we have already. We got this book earlier in the summer, a really high grade um, direct copy of this. It's a Key Action Comics book, but I saw it in the 33-cent bin today. Condition's actually pretty decent. I'd put the condition at like a 7.5, 7.0, maybe 6.5. It's got a little bit of a micro tear on the side here. But it's a newsstand copy, and I really wanted to pick up the newsstand copy of this to just kind of complete the set, like I said. My second copy here of Action Comics 600, and it's a newsstand edition. This is the golden anniversary edition of Action Comics, celebrating, again, 50 years. I have the 30th anniversary. I think I have the 20th anniversary too. I have like the 20th, the 30th. Sorry. I have the 30th, I have the 40th, and now I have the 50th in a newsstand here. And this is a big book just because it's got like so many of the, Superman my favorite artists and a lot of the Superman creators, legendary Superman creators here. Just give you a kind of a list of who's in this book. You've got Murphy Anderson, John Beatty, Dick Giordano, Kevin McGuire, Mike Mignola, Jerry Ordway, Kurt Schaffenberger, Walt Simonson, Roger Stern, Kurt Swan, and Mike Zeck. I also think you have pinups by Arthur Adams. Art Adams is in this book as well with a pinup. So just a really key book, 80-page giant. You've got John Byrne and George Perez doing cover duties here. You've got Superman kissing Wonder Woman. You've got Lex Luthor. You've got Superman versus Man Bat. I mean, just a lot of a lot of 80s goodness right here, late 80s goodness. Again, commemorating Superman's golden anniversary, 1938 to 1988. So it's a key book. Again, 33 cents. You are not leaving this Key Action Comics book there with all this goodness. Again, it's pretty high grade. If you cancel out a couple of the spine ticks, and there's a little bit of a cover tear there. But yeah, all in all, I'd put it at like a 6.5, maybe a 6.0 copy. Spine is really intact there. So I've got two copies now, one high grade direct and sort of like a closer to, I guess, mid grade, but presents like a high grade newsstand copy there on the front. Beautiful, beautiful. 33 cents, man. That is a find. All right, we're down to my last two books. I can't believe we're already done with this haul. 12 books doesn't seem like a lot. Spent $4 on 12 books. So the last two books are Jim Lee books, and we're going to end this video with the book of the haul, which is a real Win Young book. We'll get to what it is, but first one we're going to show off is a book that's been on my list, and it's a key Jim Lee book. If you're into collecting Jim Lee, and I'll get into why it's key in just a moment. we've got from 2004, Coup d'etat Sleeper #1. The cover is by, I think this is Ed Brubaker. No, who's the cover artist here? Lee Bermejo is the cover artist, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Lee Bermejo is the cover artist. And the interior artwork is by none other than Jim Lee. Now, I've featured books in the past where we get Jim Lee's first sort of foray into DC after the sale of Wildstorm to DC. And it's this horror book called Flinch, where Jim Lee does interior work on one of the stories. And he does not only the pencils, but the inking and the coloring of that book, all the artwork on that. And it's rare to see a Jim Lee pencil and inked comic book. Usually Scott Williams is the team of artists that bring his work to life. But here in 2004, he doesn't employ Scott, and he does inking duties on his own. He does a great job. I took a look at the artwork. It's really dynamic artwork here from the interiors. But yeah, it's Jim Lee pencils and inks, and then his colorist is Alex Sinclair. So again, rare sort of internal work where you don't have Scott Williams doing Jim Lee inking duties. This is a Jim Lee on Jim Lee with Alex Sinclair coloring. Key book for Jim Lee collectors. This comes in two. This is the one of the variants. The other is the A cover by Jim Lee. I still need to get that one, but this is a nice filler. Well, it's a nice, again, we were targeting this book as well, so finally get to check it off my Jim Lee checklist here. Coup d'etat Sleeper. Jim Lee interiors there. And this is Jim Lee book 388 to the collection. 388 to the collection. Coup d'etat Sleeper #1. All right. Now we're to the book of the haul. And this is an Unmyeong book. Really just for one specific reason only. On my last haul video of 2024, if you watch that video, I picked up this book, which is a book that's been on our list of stuff to get. And I always thought this was sort of like Jim Lee's original cover for this book. Or at least, I hadn't seen this cover prior to this book. And so I always thought, maybe it's an interior image, I don't know, but it seemed like it was just specifically meant for this book. But we picked it up for 50 cents at Mill Geek on our last comic haul video of 2024. Real Unmyeong find, because I've been looking for this book. I love just the image here as it goes from like light pencils to heavier ink to the full effect there. It's this sort of nice transition into the finished product there from Jim Lee. And Wildstorm, spotlight on Jim Lee. I'm assuming there's a lot of nice image and Wildstorm Jim Lee artwork in this book. It's a rather sizable book. So we picked this up on the last haul, and that was cool. I was like very happy with this book, and I got it in this clear backing board. And we went into Hill of Comics, kind of focused on trying to pick up again like cheap, 90s Jim Lee goodness, because it's sitting in there. There's a lot of the kind of the holes I have to fill up on Jim Lee books aren't big books. They're like 90s kind of books. Some of them are big books, but a lot of them are just like, I'm trying to think of an example here. Like, I've got some books left in there. The Wild Cats Run, um, random just covers from Wildstorm, uh, things of that nature. So again, things we can find in the bargain bins if we're patient and look for them. So I was kind of targeting that, but there's a lot of stuff. We did find a lot of like Jim Lee books in there, but they're books I already have for the most part. So tried to, um, even at 33 cents, it was hard to kind of leave them there, but I left them there. Maybe I'll come back for them at some point, but we did find some Jim Lee Superman books too. And so again, just resisted the urge to pick up more doubles of Jim Lee, but there's a lot of Jim Lee stuff in those bins. But the thing we did not have was this book. And this book is a very interesting book. It's not even a comic book. Okay, it's not a comic book, but it's it features the cover we were just looking at, and that is the Image 1995 Toy Fair for Wildcats. I'm assuming these were the Wildcats toy line that came out. Kind of in promotion of that, and again, these I guess were some promotional materials they were giving out at again some toy fair in 1995. It's just the most random book. Now, this normally is just like a program. It's like what, 6-page program, I'd say. Very, very flimsy book. There's some featured Jim Lee art in it, but the real key portion of this program is there was a card, a set of 4 cards, uncut, that's at the center of this book. Mine is missing. Someone took the cards out, so my copy is missing the cards. And the cards are just, Jim Lee covers of Wildcats. You got the famous Grifter Wildcats 13 cover, Grifter with the 2 guns. You've got a Zealot cover. You've got a Warblade cover, and I think the other. I want to say it's Voodoo, but maybe not. Anyway, you've got 4 cards there that are part of this original Toy Fair program. But yeah, I had no idea this was out there. It's a pretty rare book in the sense that, I don't think a lot of these were produced and printed relative to, like the 90s run on books. But it came with the cards again, and I think it was trying to promote the 1995 Wildcats toy line, which is, I think, horrendously a bad toy line, if I remember correctly. But this cover art, though, is I prefer the actual Lee Williams cover here, because you got Mondo there in full view. Here he's kind of covered up by the trade dress. Then you got Zealot. That Zealot looking just badass. Yeah, this is just a great piece. It kind of would have been better with the cards in there, but it is what it is. Just missing the cards, but we got the program there. I may have to get a high grade copy of this with the cards in it someday. But for now, this is a nice filler, and this is our book of the haul, the 1995 Toy Fair Wildcats edition special. It's a special collector's edition of a program from the mid '90s. My kind of jam. An incredible Jim Lee cover there of the Wildcats. So that is that completes sort of this arc out with 2024 and in with 2025. This will be just a nice transitionary Young pickups for on both occasions. Hoping to just add more layers to my Jim Lee collection. So yeah, there you have it. Nice and sweet, nice and short. We're going on tomorrow night, Jeff and I, and we're going to be covering our weekly, our takes on some of the stuff in the news, comic book news, pop art news. We're also going to be discussing in detail what we're targeting in 2025, some of the stuff we're on the hunt for and on the lookout for. So it'll be a fun show. And of course, we cover our Spec Rec Flex books each week. We pick out 3 books: speculation book, a recommendation book, and a flex book from the collection. And um, this might end up as our flex book. I mean, it's a nice piece right there to our Jim Lee Wildcats collection. So you might see that tomorrow. Who knows? You might see something else. I try to keep my books kind of incognito, but also relevant to the stuff going on in the hobby right now. That's a cool book. Yeah. Some of these books just like for 33 cents, all of these books are just great ads. I mean, in terms of value, we're talking about this is like a $20 book. This is like 10 or $12 book, $10 or $12 book, $15 book. I mean, these are just like, to find these in the 33-cent bin is pretty, it's satisfying. That's why we do this. Because all of these, for the most part, I'll keep in the collection, except for, again, this tentacle porn bondage cover. I don't know if I want to. I just got it because I'm sure someone will trade good books for this. I'm not to say this is a bad book. This is actually a pretty cool cover, to be honest. It's an anime style tentacle porn cover. Just not stuff I collect, but at the same time, I'm not going to leave a key book like that there for 33 cents. So pick that up. These are obviously parts of the core collection here. I am trying to fill this Wolverine run, Volume 2 run. I'm just kind of at some point I think I'll give up on it. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I initially wanted to pick it up because it's such a big book from my collecting era. But at what point do I stop? Do I just stop at 50, or do I? That's still a big lift to collect 50 of these issues. But I guess if I pick them up for 33 cents, it's not so bad. But that, they take up a lot of space. So I'm just kind of like in this like transitionary period of like, I'm not stopping to look for the books, but just kind of being like, do I really want to? Let me just put it this way: I'm not going to spend money on trying to pick up Wolverine books, but if I can pick them up for 50 cents on the cheap, uh, we'll continue to do it because it is a run. If I had all the space in the world, I would definitely pick up more of the books, Marvel Age included. But um, these are things I have to kind of remind myself. Um, you've got limited space. We'd rather pick up more Superman Action Comics. We'd rather pick up more Jim Lee collection, more Brian Bolland artwork. So those are, my core, the people I collect. Um, George Perez, John Byrne, those kinds of books. So yeah, all in all, great haul to start off the year. I think there are just some really nice pieces here that we've added. Um, Again, just the value of the haul that we picked up makes this really worthwhile. Obviously, this book is big. Wish I'd had the cards, but um, a lot of value, good stuff here. Golden Anniversary Action Comics, can't go wrong there. Um, especially when we get to the Centennial, which will be in 2038. When we get to Superman's Centennial, which I hope I can, I'll be probably retired by that point, and I'll probably be like, I've amassed a lot of hopefully Superman books by that time, but I'll be celebrating along with the rest of the country when we get to that milestone, and I will want to pick up the 100th, the centennial commemorative book of Action Comics. So here it's issue 600. They timed it perfectly to get that um, the 50 years on the under the belt with issue 600. That's just a nice ad. Again, 33 cents. This is you shouldn't spend a lot on this book, but if you can find it for $1 or two, it's just a book you want to add to the collection. Happy to add the newsstand there. So yeah, all in all, incredible haul. And again, we got the Conan homage here, Frank Frazetta homage. Hope you're watching, Jeff, man. This is for you, buddy. I was thinking of you. Frazetta homage. Now I may just have to make this the rec book, this week's rec book there. And you get a preview of tomorrow's rec book right here on my channel. Yeah, be sure to tune into that tomorrow night with us. Jeff and I are having a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys. Hey, what's up, Norm? Rad Art. I keep calling you Norm, Rad. Rad Art and Comics. What's up, dude? Wolverine is good spec. Yeah. Again, I'm not. It's volume 2 is just for me. It's such a key run. It's like not too many books went on sale twice a month. Marvel only did that for its like top books. So, like Spider-Man, X-Men, Wolverine. These were the ones that were just like driving the popularity over at Marvel during my collecting era. This is definitely my collecting era, like Wolverine Volume 2 came out as I was like head deep into comics, and it was like the title. You remember when Wolverine 2 Volume 2 number 1 came out, and it just like it was a violent issue, and like, oh man, they're gonna give us some death and gore and blood and guts and all that. It was just like exciting because they weren't They were taking comic books to kind of the limit of what they could do, um, in terms of like showing people. I guess it was kind of at that point, but then Wolverine was just like, no, he's gonna be like killing and murdering and all that in this book. So um, that was cool to see, and yeah, there was so much excitement around the title when it came out, and it's continue. I mean, the popularity of the characters just continued to this day. So there's obviously a lot of copies of Wolverine books out there, but I agree with you. I think uh, the overall, you know, I think the demand for Wolverine books will continue to be high because I'm just one of many collectors who love Wolverine and want to collect this run. So I don't know. This is not Silvestri's best cover. That foot is bugging me, bugging the heck out of me. Who who did the feet on this cover? Did Rob sneak into Mark's room and complete the artwork on this? That is just the jankiest comic book leg I've ever seen. That is not good art at all. But anyway, can't. I'll just try to like not focus on the leg there, the foot. That's just bad, 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 bad. Um, sort of a lot. I guess this is a well. There's a. This isn't the only janky art here in this collection. Even this as much as I love this Boland book, the Boland cover is also weird. Like if you look at Green Lantern's torso there, it just something's off there. It's just like that's not what you expect from Brian Boland artwork. I'm sorry, I don't know if this is. I don't think it has anything to do with early Boland, but that is looking a little janky there. Got a janky foot. We got some janky body work, and then this one is just the the theme or topic is a little questionable for me. Bondage tentacle porn there. That's an iffy one. What's another weird janky cover here? The crypto the crypto book. He just doesn't. I don't know. He looks like he's emaciated a little bit. And the emaciated crypto. He's not scaring anybody. Could have put a little more muscle or mass on this poor dog. A little bit of jankiness going here on this haul, but we got good stuff like this to pull us back out. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a fun year. 2025. Again, we're going to go into detail what we're targeting in 2025, and I'll probably follow it up with another video just focused on 2025. As you know, there's something this weekend will determine whether we have a big budget to work with in 2025 or not. I've got $900 riding in a fantasy football league. It's a league we started at work. A bunch of us. We wanted to do a kind of winner take all league. Well, not a winner take all. There's, let's see, third prize gets his money back. Second gets like $100, and the winner gets like $900. So it was I think it was $125 buy-in, and Yeah, I got to look at the payout structure again, but I'm pretty sure the winner gets like 900 bucks, 1,000 or 900 bucks, somewhere around there, which is big, big money. Imagine just boom, you got 1,000 bucks to spend on comic books. I mean, that can pick up a lot of great books. And we will target maybe like a big couple big bucks. I have some of those. And again, we're going to cover what I'm targeting in 2025 and see what we can apply that big chunk of change to. Um, but yeah, right now I am up in the league. We got 1 week remaining, and it's a really weird week because fantasy football, as you know, it's like the playoffs. A lot of the teams have made the playoffs, and so, like for example, the Philadelphia Eagles, right? They don't benefit from either winning or losing the last game of the season. So they're likely to rest all their starters and give their backups some playing time and some warm up time for the playoffs. So, yeah, if you've got Philadelphia Eagles starters, they're not going to really help you on your team. And I do have Devonte Smith as a wide receiver. He's not going to play a snap this Sunday. So I've had to make adjustments. So has my opponent. And but I have a nice, comfortable lead. So this is the week 2 of our 2-week matchup. And in the first week, I beat him very comfortably. I have a 36-point lead going into week 2. So as long as I can maintain that lead, or just kind of, even if he wins, let's say he beats me, as long as I can maintain that lead on top of whatever he wins by, or if I win, it's over. Right now, ESPN has me projected to win 75% win probability to his 25. And they have me projected to win by a score of 244 to his 200. So, based on all again, I had to pick up some people from the waiver wire and make a few adjustments. But some of the things working in my favor are the fact that Baltimore, I have Lamar Jackson, I have Mark Andrews as my tight end. Baltimore is trying to win their division, and the Steelers are right there. So Baltimore has to win to ensure they win. If they lose and Pittsburgh wins, then it's ultimately like a tie for that division. And I don't know how they would determine that in that instance. But yeah, I mean, Baltimore just kind of wants to be like, no, going into the playoffs, they want some momentum. They also want to know, hey, you're dealing with the AFC North. What is it? What division are they? The AFC East champs here, and they kind of want to go in with their heads high. So that bodes well for me. Lamar Jackson is projected to start. Hopefully, he has a big first half and can kind of rest the second half. But they want to kind of get out to a large lead and take the starters out as early as they can. They're playing the Browns, so I imagine it's going to be a romp in Baltimore. And yeah, so I'm poised to actually have probably a big day tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to update you as I come to know what the score and all that is. I want to keep you apprised that this is a big part of the 2025 comic book haul puzzle. Because there's a big difference between going in with I have $6 to my name right now for comic books versus $906. So a lot is riding on this weekend, fantasy wise, and it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I've got a lot of people out. I've got 3 people on my squad out, 2 doubtful, or 2 were doubtful. I dropped 1 because I don't think he's going to play. Um, the other piece of this is, should Pittsburgh win, the Chargers would be forced to try and win their game for playoff position. And right now I have Lad McConkey. I told you I drafted Lad McConkey. I targeted him because I predicted he'd have a big first rookie year, and he did not disappoint. So he was kind of helped me win this league in a lot of ways, um, given his late, like how late I picked the guy up. I think he was close to my last second or last pick, but it was a big one. But yeah, he was got some rare. Okay, yeah. You got some rare new Witchblade variants. That's nice. $50 on 4 books today on Whatnot. Nice. Oh, okay, nice. Um, Rare Witchblade variants. Michael Turner Witchblade variants. Well, that's, yeah. I'm assuming that's what you spent the $50 on. Can't go wrong there, especially if they're rare. Um, you're gonna have to like show them off or feature them. Yeah, uh, drop a link or photo in my comments or to show them off. But yeah, getting back to fantasy, we got Lad McConkey uh, set to play. Um, but it'll really depend on that Pittsburgh outcome. Again, Pittsburgh wins. I think the Chargers are going to go all out to win their game. If Pittsburgh loses, then they might rest McConkey and all the starters. So it really kind of depends. So we've got kind of a variable situation here going into the last fantasy week. And again, I've got a 36-point lead going in, but anything can happen, right? Anything can happen, especially when you got all these like starters who could just put up zeros, goose eggs on the board. Got to kind of play these players right. So, but for the most part, yeah, I think we're going to see hopefully me ending up on top. And again, it's going to impact. So that's the lead I'm taking into the last week of fantasy football. So I'll keep you guys updated on what happens. And again, $900 versus 0. Well, I will already have I will already have at least $100. So yeah, I mean that the consolation is I'll have $100 going in to 2025 versus 900. Of course, I'd prefer the 900, but I'm already second place no matter what happens. But hopefully win the whole thing. Thanks, Rad Art and Comics. Thanks, buddy. What other things are going on? Yeah, just it's been I think a lot of people are kind of making predictions for 2025. I'm not into the whole prediction thing. Not to say I'm bad at making predictions. I just that's not my thing. I don't like to say, "Oh, this is going to happen." But one thing I think I I've been very hopeful for the James Gunn Superman movie, and that's not that I'm predicting it will be a blockbuster or predicting that. Um, my hope is that the movie will succeed, and my hope is that it will bring sort of a revival uh, to DC and DC content, and related to that revival will be the focus on Superman books and sort of refocus on his significance in our pop culture. For a long time, other things have been, especially in comic books. Especially in comic books, it's like even Batman was upstaging Superman, but a lot of things in comic books were upstaging Superman. Um, and this has been going on I've been since I was collecting back in the 90s. Um, and so, again, if you talk about the Bronze Age, um, up until the Bronze Age, I'd say Superman was the hobby. He led book sales. He was everybody's favorite character. If you're of a certain age, right, you um, collected his books over anything else that was coming out. Not to say every collector, every person did that, but for the most part, right, he was the guy. He was the popular title. He was the popular character. He was the legacy superhero character that everybody kind of associated with, uh, this universe that we read. Um, so very a focal point is kind of like what I'm trying to get across. And then again, that people steered away from that, and you really had, like, say, just the last 30 years, um, since right since the golden anniversary here, the last 30 years of just like kind of him losing that top spot. I think with all the different, you know, characters and titles and stories and movies over the years that have just, come and gone to grab our attention. I think an entire generation, maybe two generations, have don't really have an idea of who Superman is and his significance, right? The only reason my son knows Superman is because I push it on him. I'm like, "Who's that?" When he's a little baby, I was like introducing him to the DC characters, and "Who's this?" Superman. He knows Superman. Um, whether he likes Superman, he's told me to my face, "I don't like Superman. I don't." He'd rather watch like kaiju's or like big robot battles and stuff like that. Which I don't blame him. Those are pretty cool things to have to be into. But I think I'm gonna definitely take him to see the movie, and I'm hoping he'll connect with that. But I'm just hoping we have a whole decade's worth of movies and content and things where Superman's back on top. People want to watch his movies. People want to read his comic books. I'm definitely seeing some movement on the comic book front. And what's great about Hilla Comics is, you know, um, you can find they haven't like reset pricing on any of their Superman books. But so I went in there today So let's talk about Hello Comics. Hello Comics is a shop in downtown Auburn, which is closer to Tacoma. It's about an hour south, uh, not quite an hour, about 40 minutes south of where I live. And it's very close to my work. So I off, again, 33-cent bins, $2 bins. They've got everything, and they've got a really good back issue selection, selection as well. But I went in there and I talked to the guy in there. John, the owner, owns two locations. One in um, up north, I think in I want to say Bellingham, and then one down south here in Auburn. And the shop up north is like the main location. It's the nicer location with the better stuff. But the Auburn location isn't half bad as well. So again, they've got a really nice, detailed back issue selection. They just have everything priced out, and everything priced out not necessarily to grade. It's kind of overpriced. But I was talking to the guy working in there, and we chat, and he basically was letting me know, hey, come, he said, I think come February or April, they are moving locations. They have to move. The city of Auburn is, I think, going to demolish that whole strip, downtown strip, or demolish the buildings or something and build new ones. So they're kicking out um, a lot of the retailers along the downtown area. And I was like, man, that sucks. Because I think right now, well, they're planning to move to Puyallup, which is down south even further, making it virtually inaccessible unless I have, again, like time and gas to go that extra, 20 minutes. Um, and I do go, I will go there eventually. Not going to just write off Hill of Comics, but it makes it a little bit more challenging. But I did get some good news as well. According again to the same source, the guy I was talking to, uh, Jeff from Heroes Comics. Our Jeff man, who had the 25-cent bins. He apparently is moving back to the U.S. and he's going to be reopening his shop somewhere. Whether it's the same location in Burien or whether it's a new location, yet to be seen. But um, that should be happening sometime this year. So we're kind of losing. We're not really losing one shop, but it's moving a little further. But we're getting Jeff's shop back, and again, I'm hoping it's right around the same. He opens it right around the same location, which won't be too far from where I work. So it'll still be rather accessible. And again, like 33-cent bins versus 25-cent bins, and the 25-cent Jeff's 25-cent bins are exactly the kind of stuff you want to hunt. It's like, you know, these aren't high grade books. They're just like books with issues, spine ticks, pressable defects kind of books, reader copies for the most part. But he's got, again, all ages. You can find Bronze Age, you can find Copper Age um, in those bins. So really looking forward to the return of Jeff and Heroes Comics, and that should be fun. But yeah, so we went into Hello Comics today with $11, and obviously I dug through the 33-cent bins first. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to see if we could pick up any Superman or Action Comics keys uh, to add to the collection, because of the moving, they made everything in the back issue bins 50% off. So everything that's priced that was you thought was high, it's now 50% off. And in that instance, it's actually pretty fair pricing. So we're kind of like, okay, if we find a big Superman book that's on our kind of want list, and it's reasonably priced, I was hoping to maybe spend $10 and just forego the 33-cent bin stuff. So after we picked out kind of what we wanted, we went looking for maybe a $10 or $5 book sorry, a $20 or $10 book, key book to add. So spend maybe $5 to $10 on a Superman or Action Comics key. Well, um, someone had already hit someone had already hit up the Superman Action Comics books because none of the books I was focused on, and I knew they had them in the past. I knew they had some of those books in the past. None of them were in the bins, and all that was left in the bins were kind of the books that that were, and even the Lois Lane. Someone picked up all the Lois Lanes too, all the Silver Age Lois Lanes and all that. So someone went in there and picked up all the good stuff from those bins related to Superman. Actually, now I can't say when they did that, but my last visit to Hilla Comics was back in, I want to say, late to midsummer, mid to late summer, and no, maybe it was early autumn was when our last haul video from there was, and then so good 2-3 months later, the Superman books are all gone. So I'm already seeing um, movement in the hobby. People are picking up Superman books, and it's not surprising to me. Um, I'm sure he's already a popular book, or older Superman books are already a popular target for collectors, and so it doesn't surprise me that those are the first books to go in a comic book shop. If you're going now and looking for those keys, either they've repriced them or they're gone if they didn't reprice them right. And that's what happened at Hello Comics. Those books were gone, the ones I wanted to pick up. Um, but we got cheap comic books, so all in all, it wasn't a wasted effort. But yeah, obviously it's going to be a challenge, I think, picking up Superman books in 2025. And I kind of wish I'd been more focused on it in 2024. Not to say I wasn't, I definitely was, but I feel like there's still a lot of books that I kind of wanted to pick up that we may have issues adding. Just saying. I think all some of the older DC issues are going to be top of mind for collectors moving forward. Again, you just have people speculating on it, like with the Superman movie. So it should be an interesting 2025 to say the least. But we got it started off right with this haul. And I just want to thank all the kind of new subscribers to my channel. My subscription, I guess, the people subscribe to my channel, the count has gone up. And that's kind of cool to see. So I just want to thank everybody who's subscribed. And that's kind of forced me to kind of like, I think be a little bit more thoughtful on the stuff I put out. Obviously, these haul videos are a big part of it. But, for me, like, I have limited space, so I wasn't planning on picking up or doing a lot of haul videos this year. But what I'm going to try to do is sell or trade the books in my collection that I want to move, that I want to kind of clear up space for other books. So right now, if you go to the description in this video, you'll see a Google Sheet link, a link to Google Sheets. Click on that, and it'll take you to a spreadsheet that'll show the books that in my collection that are up for sale or trade. Um, I have a sale price there, but that's not the price I would sell the book at. I would give if you were wanting to buy the book, I'd give you probably a good discount on it, depending on the book, as much as like a 50% discount. But yeah, all the grades are kind of like my view of the grade is there, and they're mostly key books. Nearly all of them are key books. Um, so yeah, go check out that list. And if you see anything on there, just message me and say, hey, what do send me a trade offer. Just throw out a trade offer. Like, what do you want for this book? Um, I am looking for Superman books, Action Comics books, um, Bronze Age or before. So the older the book, the better, obviously. I'm looking for Jim Lee books. I'm looking for Brian Boland books. I'm looking for John Byrne books, especially John Byrne Fantastic Four. I have most of the John Byrne Superman Action Comics, but if you have maybe 2 or 3 of the issues I'm looking for, um, doesn't hurt to throw an offer out there. What else? Neil Adams books. I'm definitely collecting Neil Adams books. Not more of his modern stuff, but more of his older stuff. Talking like Bronze Age and before. Um, so any Neil Adams books, um, Michael Turner books, Mark Silvestri books, Peach Momoko books, Alex Ross books, George Perez, Bronze Age, Copper Age books. Um, Runs I'm collecting, Byrne Fantastic Four run, um, McFarlane ASM run, Silvestri Wolverine run, or any of the Wolverine runs. And of course, Uncanny X-Men. I'd say Byrne Cockrum to Jim Lee, that whole era, the 80s era. And yeah, cool covers, things like that. So definitely take a look on there, see if there's anything you like. The whole thing, all 94 key books are available for $1,000 if you want to buy the whole collection. It's 94 key books. There's some big books in there. We've got the first Deadpool symbiote cover by Scotty, what's his name? Scotty Young. Newsstand edition, high grade book. That's a big book. That's on there. And yeah, just go check out the list. Again, link below. Just click on it. It'll take you right to the page, and you can see the books, the key significance of the book, the grade that I think the book is in. These are all raw copies, by the way. Yeah, the Venom Pool. And again, the trade value is really trade value. Again, I wouldn't sell the book at that price, but in terms of trade, if you're going to offer me something, that's kind of sort of a rough figure of what I want in terms of value for a trade. And we can go from there. So hopefully a lot of people will take a look at the list and send me their trade offers. Um, and it's again, they're books I'm trying to like get rid of. So if you give me, I don't want like a 3 to 1 where I'm giving you one book for like 3 books or 5 books. I really want the other way around. I want to give you more books for one book. So um, it doesn't necessarily have to be equivalent value. If you send me like a $5 book and it's something I really want, I'll give you, like 5 or 6 books, maybe $20 worth of value, whatever. Um, to get that book. So it doesn't hurt to just throw out offers. Again, I'm trying to clear that stuff out, either sell it or trade it away to get other books of things I want in the collection. Um, and we may look at like maybe selling at a show or something. Those 94 books are just like, to me, things I've kind of collected. A lot of it's sort of just 90s goodness because I wanted to add it, and it was sitting there, key from the 90s or whatever for 50 or a quarter, and just wanted to get it because I thought it was worth more than that. Um, but I've been doing too much of that, and they're not really books. They're key 90s books in there, which I think ultimately, if I had all the space in the world, I would want to keep those. But it's a situation where if I want to add more stuff, I have to first kind of purge those books. So that's kind of like the only reason we wanted to get rid of the book. And even like a pickup like this, like this book here, it's like I know this is a valuable book. It's in really decent grade, and it's probably a book a lot of people might be targeting or want to add. And again, um, I'm willing to trade that book right there for something equivalent. So that's the kind of stuff hopefully I'll do more of. And I'm going to pretty much link that trade link list of books in the descriptions on my videos moving forward. So anytime you watch a video and you want to like, hey, I want to trade with Otaku, I've got some books you might like, anytime, just toss me a trade offer. Again, the link is in the description, and it'll be in the description moving forward. So you'll always have um, that to kind of go down and access. So yeah, again, for watching the video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and check out the trade books and send me an offer. Again, looking for Jim Lee, Neil Adams, John Byrne, any of my favorite artists. Looking for Superman um, books. Looking for older books, Bronze, Silver Age books, and even Copper Age. Things from my collecting era. 80s, 90s books fall into that. Um, but yeah, just send me an offer, and I just want to thank everybody who's part of this channel. And let's have a great 2025. Wishing you all the best um, in the new year. And we'll talk more about the new year with Jeff tomorrow on our live stream. Double Tiger coming at you Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you tomorrow on that channel. And wishing you guys a great Friday evening. Otaku out. See you in the next one.